Welcome to the Thunk Tank. Come in the tank. We're thinking, and we're drinking,
And we're thunked.
and we're thunked.
Oh my god, I'm probably more beer than man if we go far enough back at this point.
Jingle all balls.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, oh, oh!
Dun, 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 dun,
Merry
dun,
have
dun.
Christmas!
Dun, 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 dun.
And there's a pandemic.
Christmas in July is
Well, folks,
do you know what's the funniest thing about doing a half Christmas in July Thunk Tank podcast episode?
what?
Is we're not going to release it till August because we have 2 hours left in July. as of
shit.
Better make
starting
the
to
most-
Johnny, you
record
better
this.
learn how to edit really fast. If we
But
publish
it's
it at West
2020.
Coast time.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. We bought 3 hours right there.
Yeah.
No, it's 2020. It's the year where plans go wrong. So, yeah, our Christmas in July episode should come out in August.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
fair
think
enough.
it's fitting.
We felt like
So
the people
does
could
this
use
make
a holiday.
this New Year's Eve of
This
half
is
Christmas? Is this half New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Lop it all on, baby.
That's it, man. That's 12 days of Christmas in one go.
I mean, there are a lot of similarities between this July and Christmas. Like, people aren't outside, right?
True.
Sure.
People don't go outside as much in December. People are either being extra nice to each other or unnecessarily aggressive.
That's true.
That is true.
People are more suicidal than
Okay.
other periods, right?
The
Didn't
mall is
know
a
that.
little more
Real
empty than
holiday
at
spirit.
Christmas time.
Yeah, that was inevitable, though. Yeah, no stampedes. with
Half
people
Christmas
shopping.
Macy's sales are not great.
Actually, Walmart, Target, a bunch of the big carriers already canceled Black Friday. They said we're closed on Thanksgiving this year. They announced it in July because they're just
But
like
Thanksgiving is Thursday. Black Friday is Friday.
But they open at midnight on Thanksgiving, so
Oh.
by saying they're closed
Or like
Thanksgiving, like they're
Oh.
probably just going to be a normal day on Black Friday. Like if
Oh,
I
okay.
assume everything will still be closed, and we'll be doing like limited hours, like 9 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll
They're
just have
looking ahead to
regular
the
hours.
crowds. They're trying to tell the crazy people that go out on Black Friday. We're telling you it's half Christmas.
Yeah. But Black
Just
Friday is
don't go.
it's already so unnecessary. Yeah, don't
Don't
do
prepare.
don't do it this year or this summer.
Yeah.
We're canceling Black Summer Christmas Friday.
Black half Christmas summer is canceled.
That's sure. That's a sentence.
Black Summer is actually a great show on Netflix. I mean, not
great show.
It's not great.
You kind of trumped out a little
Well, as
bit
I was
there.
saying, great
You're-
show. I was
you're
like,
like
it's
it-
not great. It's just
You're
okay.
like it was a
but
great show.
It's enjoyable.
Is it?
The Christmas
Good
spirits are
zombie.
flowing.
The Christmas spirits are flowing.
Oh.
So I guess we should go around the Christmas table and everyone start by saying, what does half Christmas mean to you?
Yeah. I actually.
Luke, would
I
you
can
like to
start.
begin?
Sure. So
Oh, God, he's actually prepared.
it was many a year
Just
ago
made that up.
that I was with you, Joe, and we were at the beach. I lived in the same town I live in now, except in a very different place, with a Bulgarian girl and someone else. Johnny is... Oh, I see. And
Just
we were
cleaning
at
my
the
camera.
beach, and I realized I haven't had like a rager at my new apartment yet. And so we realized it was July 25th, and I was like, I'm going to text everyone and say, I'm having a half Christmas rager at my place. And I found a little bush, and I chopped it down, poor little bush, brought it home, made a Christmas tree out of it, and we just got
You
wasted.
didn't chop it down. Admit it. You ripped it out of the ground coming home from the
Like
bar,
an
right?
animal.
Like a monster.
it was-
like
it was
like a
worse
young
than that. It was
gorilla
like a
testing his
sober-
strength.
Sober killing of this tree.
I don't remember any of this.
That
dude.
kind of makes it worse, but go on.
Yeah.
I remember the Bulgarian.
I was playing trumpet at the beach, if that makes it any more memorable.
Sure.
I don't know.
That sounds like something in the spirit of half Christmas.
And then we
in
walked
July.
to
Yes.
Johnny, your wife's family's boat.
Oh, I remember it.
And then we realized that was when we realized I had
I
an
remember
apartment
that.
in the same town as this boat.
Yes.
And we realized like the perfect party night was like you start partying at the apartment, then you go to the boat.
Right. Yeah.
Then you pop back to the apartment,
Yeah.
go to the boat. In between, you
Yeah.
can get pizza or stop at a bar any other
Right.
time.
Right. Boat, apartment,
and
then it just sort of
eventually-
ends.
Yeah, it just sort of ends where I lose my flip flop coming back from the boat.
Right. That's when you know it's the last boat trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The boat was great too because you go down port and if the bars were packed, you just go to the bodega and grab a 6-pack or the
Yeah.
brewery there, and then just go sit on the boat and just watch
You're
all
like,
the
wait, all
maniacs
this
crowd
time I
into
could
the
have
bar.
spent $10 instead of 50
Yeah. Right.
and had a better time
Those were the
and
days.
talked to my friends instead of wearing earbuds
Well-
where I can't hear them in a bar. Like
The spirit.
That's
of-
why this.
the
That's why this.
pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
That's why this demi going on right now is you're seeing like that people. We always knew that you go to the bar, like you're paying for going to the bar. You're not really paying for the beer when you pay like $8 for.
Yeah.
you
You're
could've gotten
renting
a
the
6-pack.
space.
You're renting the space because you want to be in a bar with people, and it's like you can get beer delivered to your house now, which was not a thing before in a lot of places. But when bars open, people want to go there. Like, yeah, I'll pay whatever. I just want to be out and about and like
Right
around.
now,
I want
yeah.
that action, the activity level, and it's like, yeah,
I need
I don't
the
know.
action of the city.
yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right. What is your
much.
memory, Joe?
My favorite half Christmas memory was probably, you know what it is? It's about friends and family.
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
By the
Whenever
way-
Joe goes into that I'm being like sincere voice, it's just like, oh God.
and I'm just so glad to be surrounded by them now. So I don't even remember any previous half Christmases because it's about the people you're with, and I'm with these people now.
And you
That
know,
was good off the top of my head. That's not bad.
no,
Pretty good.
that's just like a sociopathic. Like I can fake it if I want.
Well, I'm a professor, of
Okay.
course. Yeah, I don't actually know anything. Yeah,
You're just professing things. You're not averring them.
exactly.
Johnny,
Right,
on this
yeah.
very
I'm not
special
like mining.
half Christmas, what memories come to your mind about half Christmas?
Well, first of all, half Christmas is June 25th, so we missed it by more than a year.
No,
July
it's
is the 7th month, not the 6th month.
Oh,
no, but
yeah.
it's 6 months
Way to
from
be a
Christmas.
half Christmas grouch.
It's
July
not.
25th,
Yeah.
August 25th.
No. You just
September,
counted July
October.
25th as a month. I saw you do that. I know that trick. You went July 25th, August 25th. No,
All
it
right,
goes from
August,
July.
September, October, November, December.
July to August is one.
25th.
September, October, November, December. That's
Are
only
you
5
telling
months.
me I've
yeah.
been celebrating half Christmas at the wrong time?
It's
all these
more of a
years?
half Burns night, I guess, because that's the only holiday I can think of at the end of January.
Isn't that a Scottish thing?
Yeah, it's a great holiday.
Right.
Wait a
We
second.
should do a
Oh,
Burns
yeah,
cast this year.
I did a Burns.
I'm not buying this.
I celebrated Burns Day in Scotland, and I read
You
a
have to,
poem.
you have to,
What's,
yeah,
and
the
I-
ode to Haggis.
We presented a haggis.
What's,
yes.
what's Burns Day for the uninformed?
I forgot
Okay, so
I
this will be
blacked out.
my favorite. This will be my favorite half Christmas holiday. We'll just pretend
Don't know what it
we
is,
did it
but
in
alright.
June. It's celebrating Robbie Burns, the famous Scottish poet.
Oh yeah, great
He,
guy.
Old Lang Syne, the
Yeah,
New
yeah,
Year's song.
yeah.
That's
One of
him.
my
He wrote that.
favorites.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Great song.
I love
he's-
old Lang
He's
Syne.
a pretty great poet. But so his birthday is a celebration in Scotland, and like you're supposed to get together, and there's some party games you play, and but part of it is there's a poem he wrote to Haggis. It's an ode to Haggis, and you're actually addressing the haggis,
The ode to
which
haggis.
which is your sheep stomach stuffed with heart and lung and like some oats and black pepper and stuff,
Fabulous, yeah.
and then they boil it, and then you bake it in the oven, and then you have to like talk to it. You recite the poem to it, and then you
Yeah.
cut it open and serve it.
Yeah,
But
it's
you also
pretty-
drink a lot of whiskey. It's a fun holiday.
You drink a lot of whiskey. Yes,
Well, that's
Mhm.
a lot
This
of
is
whiskey.
bullshit. I just confirmed on Google that I've been a month off on half Christmas for my entire life.
Wow.
I mean, now's the time to realize it if you ever were.
Wow.
I mean, I'm
We're
glad.
really sorry, Thunk Tank listeners.
I'm
We're
glad
a
I
month
ruined
late
it
on
for
this
you.
one.
So not only are we a month late, but we're also posting it in the wrong month too.
Right. We're more than a month late.
Yeah, we're like
We're
Uh,
really sorry. We just thought
we're
you all-
anywhere from like 0 to 2 months off.
when we
I was
started
con-
researching this episode 2 weeks ago. We just thought that you guys were really needing some Christmas spirit.
Yeah, we just want to bring levity.
Apparently,
and
we
joy
forgot to Google when is
to
half
your
Christmas.
sad, miserable, short,
Yeah.
wretched lives.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
2 weeks ago it was still pretty late. But I'm glad I ruined this for you on the cast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got to-
that's what I mean. It's,
we got to
if
burst
it has
your
to
bubble.
Be ruined for Luke, I'd rather be us be the ones who do it.
And
Right.
Johnny, I wasn't doing the
Yeah.
counting thing on purpose. It just turns out that that's how I counted it. Like I
Okay, I
always
thought
went
you were-
July, August, September, and then was like,
Well,
yeah, it
I
works
mean,
out.
Also, the joke goes, "Who says, oh, Christmas in June?" No, everybody says, "Oh, Christmas
Chri-
in July."
Wasn't there a on like Cartoon Network
Yes,
or
that's
something?
why I
they had
always-
Johnny. They had a Christmas in July.
No,
or
it
Nickelodeon
was
or
like
something.
it wasn't. It was like the Hallmark Channel or something.
They have a Christmas in July thing, and I thought it
Yeah.
was because it was half Christmas.
right.
And they would play all those old claymation Heat Miser type things.
yeah.
So you're just
Are you
helping
saying
us
Hall-
ask the question. What's the answer?
Are you saying Hallmark lied to me?
Yeah, why is Hallmark doing a Christmas in July?
I think it's because Christmas is a real holiday, so like doing it in July kind of like
The
you
dog days
can't
of summer?
get sued for
Yeah.
doing an actual half Christmas because it's
Yeah.
a fake half Christmas.
Yeah, because
What?
June isn't necessarily super hot. It can be, but July and August are
July and August are the.
Yeah,
No, I'm
and
pretty sure it's in July because there was a big hole in the programming schedule.
That's,
Not
yeah.
a lot of
That
shows
actually
come out
makes-
in
that
July,
makes
and they
a
were
lot
like,
more
"Oh, we
sense.
have all these Christmas
Yeah.
movies we paid for. We only get to show once a
They
year."
were like, but
Hey, let's
sir,
show 'em
July is
twice.
only 5 months from Christmas. It's technically not half Christmas. They were like, no one's going to notice.
them eat
They're all
Christmas.
dumb.
No one
They're like, no,
noticed.
the executive was like, "You idiot! Look, July, August, September. See,
Yeah.
And he did the count like you did." And
Now
you're like,
in
"Well, I'm not
my-
going to correct
The
him. He's
problem
the
is
boss."
the problem is you do like me. You count with your thumb first. That's where you went wrong.
Now, no, in my
Like in
defense-
Inglorious
Yeah, it's a
Bastards. That's what
big
happened to
giveaway,
them.
man. Yeah.
They counted
I
with
haven't
their
seen
thumb.
that movie.
Yeah.
Oh well, I've
Great
spoiled too
What?
much.
You say what? But Joe hasn't seen
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's doing that out of spite, and
Yeah, that's true.
so that I won't respect him at
Yeah,
this point.
that's exactly right. Well, it also infuriates him, as you can see now. See, he's
Johnny.
No.
he just gave me the shake of the head, like I'm not
Johnny,
mad.
the more upset you get,
I'm just
about
more
it,
di-
the
I'm not
less
angry, I'm
likely
just
you'll
dis-
watch it.
Christmas.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, more of that.
At this point, I think he's seen it and is just trolling me.
I'm holding out.
Can't we find some kind of drug that paralyzes him and he just has to sit there conscious watching it?
So we're gonna put Joe in a K-hole and then make him hold his eyelids open, like in
Like
Clockwork Orange,
Or that
and
movie with Mel
and make him
Gibson.
watch
Yeah.
all 7
If we
hours
don't
of The
want to risk
Godfather.
anything pharmaceutical, we could tie him up and scotch tape his eyes open, and then we watch Godfather. And we'll just get to watch Godfather.
Who
and
said
he'll
that?
also get to watch it just uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Against his will.
Well, either way.
He's already using third person. So.
What are you going to do when we untie you? Like freak out and cause a scene, or just be like, yeah, sorry guys, I was wrong?
I don't know. How does that change a person when you abduct them?
I think I described it to Tommy.
Take their eyes open.
I described
You
it to
think
Tommy perfectly.
You're
the
their
other
friends.
day.
What?
I think I was talking to Tommy or you, but I think it was him who described it. I was like, Joe as a writer and someone who cares about story and narratives and plots, who refuses to watch The Godfather, would be like if me, as somebody who works in the beer industry, refused to drink Sierra or to even try a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale because it's just no, I
I
can't be
don't-
that good. But then
don't
I'll go
refuse to
out and
watch
try
it.
to hold on. I'm talking, and then I'll go out and try to sell beer, being like, "Oh yeah, I know what is good beer and what people like." It goes, "Oh, have you ever had Sierra Nevada?" Nope, refuse to try it on principle. You'd be like, "All right, you're an idiot. Clearly, like, why would you think that you can
John,
like make beer?"
you're misunderstanding. I'm not refusing to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
That's not true. I've queued it up and I've sent you links. You are refusing to watch it at this point.
I must have lost the link. You know.
All right, Johnny, we're going to do something crazy because I forgot to do it at the beginning. It'll just be part of the episode. Can you say 3, 2, 1 into your mic real quick? This is so I can line up the editing.
If that'll work.
Go.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
There we go. That's fine. I can line it up anywhere.
It's just going to happen in the middle of the episode now.
That's
And
fine.
we're back,
Awesome.
folks. Welcome back to Half Christmas Special Spectacular on Thunk Tank Spectacular.
So I think my favorite half Christmas it was probably the one I spent in Scotland, because I'm pretty sure I flew to Scotland on actual half Christmas, and we came back because we were there for like a week or two, and we came back the day after the 4th of July. So I got to do half Christmas in
Okay.
Scotland and an American holiday there. They didn't celebrate the 4th though. It was a little disappointing.
Do they have
It was
the
like
4th of
a-
July?
I mean, the day happens, but it's not a holiday.
I was going to say they have.
It's not like a
still-
hotel
it's
that
still on the
skips the
calendar?
floor. It goes from 3rd to 5th or something. Imagine if England did that. They got rid of the day.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in Great Britain, they're a little, they're still a little
How would
spiteful.
that fuck up everything in the world if one country just decided, like a big country that has a lot of like trading and GDP, is just like, we're getting rid of July 14th.
Well, you just add a July 32nd, and then you're good to go.
That's not how
What? That's not how what works.
All the computer systems that are like based on
Name me one.
dates. Microsoft.
Damn. That's a pretty good answer.
I mean, if they just deleted a
I don't know.
day.
I was hoping he didn't finish whatever the sentence is because it sounds madness.
This is the Y2K worry.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
Okay, go on.
1999 becoming 2000.
And then what happened? Nothing.
Then Santa with the
You,
mushrooms.
you just proved my point, Luke. Nothing happened with Y2K.
Santa with the mushrooms.
Yeah, I was watching a sunset today, and I stumbled upon Joe, and I was like, "Oh, what should we talk
It's not
about
what
for
happened.
for the half Christmas?" Or Joe stumbled upon me, and I was like, "What should we talk about?" And I was like, "Well, we could do like the Santa mushroom thing." And then Yanka, my fiance, was like, my current fiance, was like, "What's that?" And I embarked on the story of how Santa's really a mushroom, like fairy, blah blah blah. And then
Morty.
I realized a sentence or two into it that I really don't remember the details. It was something about like the
Well, weren't you saying that
igloos and the
his
chimneys
hat
and
his hat represents a mushroom?
yeah, that's the mushroom
because
cap.
it's got the white cap.
Yeah, the
right?
white cap
or the
with
white
red bottom.
ball or whatever on
Yeah.
it. Is that true?
Santa's got
Is that
white
true,
balls,
John?
Yeah.
That's true.
It does he?
Johnny, do you remember the details of Santa's mushroom history?
Yeah, we've talked about it in a few episodes now.
Yeah. Can we rehash it for our half Christmas
I think
listeners?
it's worth rehashing. Yeah.
So it's that Christmas, the myth of Santa is based around the pagan mushroom cults that
Can you
had
say it a
to
little
work
more
in secrecy around because Christianity spread throughout Europe, right? And they got into Northern Europe kind of slowly in fits and starts because they're fucking crazy up there. And there was actually a rarely known about crusade up in Lithuania where the pagans were like, no, fuck your Christianity. We want to worship Woden and fucking tree spirits and stuff. And so they just murdered a bunch of them. There's actually a really cool battle on a big frozen lake. But anyways, called the Battle of the Ice.
That sounds
we should
like
do a whole
Dan
episode
Carlin
on
Really?
podcast episode.
Yeah. But so the paganism was outlawed and you get in trouble for practicing it the way, lots of religions pull that move. So part of it was this like the winter solstice mushroom tripping thing. And so you'd have to deliver the mushrooms and perform the rituals in secret. And I think actually some people speculated it used to be a summer solstice and they moved it to Christmas because it was
So we're at
easier
the
to
original event right now in summer.
Right. It was easier to do in secret in the winter. But that's where the whole chimney myth comes from, because in certain Scandinavian countries, the snowdrifts get so high, they have these like mail chutes next to their chimneys to deliver supplies and stuff between houses, so you don't have to dig out the whole house. And so Santa would sneak by on his sleigh of reindeer and just drop magic treats down there. And if you look at old world artwork of Santa, there's usually like mushrooms, and he's always in nature, and he's always giggling with a rosy red face. Like,
Yes.
why is who's riding?
Santa's
Think about
tripping
driving
balls.
a wagon. Think about driving a horse and buggy, right? It's probably dull. It smells like a horse. You're not moving fast. It's not like a car. There's no podcast going. Now imagine you're doing that all night long and you're going, like the guy was tripping balls to just think he was flying through the sky on
His
reindeer.
face is all red.
And
He's
all the
hopped
pe-
up on cocaine.
All
And
the
what's he
people
giggling
delivered
about?
these
What's he-
mushrooms to are tripping balls, so they think Santa's flying.
And
That's
he's
where the
hanging
myth
out
comes
with elves. Like, that's a very weird, creepy Scandinavian-y kind of thing. Like elves and ghouls and goblin-y things.
Little green goblin.
And also reindeer can eat, are one of the few animals that can eat psilocybin and it doesn't fuck them up. So they'll seek the mushrooms out, eat them, and their urine actually has enough psychoactive
Right.
psilocybin that if you
Yeah.
drink reindeer piss, you'll trip. So like
heard about
Santa chose reindeer for that reason.
Actually,
call Santa
Johnny, have
Hitler.
you heard of Four Sigmatic, that mushroom company?
No, maybe
So-
I don't know.
So I have this like mushroom coffee that I have once in a while, and like a mushroom protein shake. It's like a bunch of different mushrooms from Scandinavian area.
How'd you get involved in that?
I just tried it on a sample pack, and it really works.
Did they solicit you?
It's half the amount of caffeine, and you get twice the amount of like brain stimulation.
So, I mean, where did you find this?
Oh, it was an advertisement on a podcast.
Sketchy.
In fact, I want to announce right now, here and now on Half Christmas, that we,
Reverse
Thunk Tank
sponsorship?
Podcast, are reverse sponsoring
there you go.
Four Sigmatic mushrooms. I almost forgot the name of the company.
There
Yeah,
was
those
a guy. There was a guy in North Carolina I knew who made mushroom soda, and it was like 13 different mushrooms and this soda. And people used to just call it. They used to call it vampire piss or like vampire spit. as like
know
a
about
joke
that.
because it was like red and it was like kind of syrupy. It had a really interesting like weirdly like sweet kind of like fluffy flavor to it. You know how like mushrooms can be leathery sometimes? It like had that like viscousness, but it was really carbonated. It was really interesting.
Wait, so it was
Usually
just like
they
it
just
was just like a fruit juice though? Like
They-
It was a soda,
Red
so it was a
mushroom
highly
soda.
carbonated soda, but there wasn't that much sugar in it. It was mostly different mushrooms.
I think they
the
usually
guy
take
was really
like,
into
the
mushrooms.
fruiting body part of the mushroom and make it into a sort of they dry it into a powder and
that
they
makes
can
sense.
put
Yeah.
it into anything.
There's more that you can do with it than just
yeah,
one
in
thing,
fact, when
for
you
sure.
eat it just whole, it just tastes awful.
right.
And when you mix it into like they made some coffee
With the
formula
coffee,
that
yeah,
tastes more
right.
like coffee. I mean, it has coffee in it,
Right.
but they mask the flavor of the lion's mane mushroom. It's called.
Hmm.
In fact, the lion's mane mushroom is shaped like neural brain networks, and that's the mushroom that's been shown to stimulate brain activity and like make your brain fire at higher
But how does it
cylinders. so to
taste?
speak.
How does it taste?
So why
compared to
isn't it
the-
working
Yanka,
for you then,
my
Luke?
current fiance Yanka can't stand it.
Really?
She can't even stand the smell.
Does she like regular mushrooms or
Oh yeah.
like shiitake or
Like
portobello?
the
or-
vegetables you put in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
stir fry. Totally.
So
Yeah.
what is it that she doesn't like about it? I gotta try this coffee, dude.
I'll give you a packet. I have like the instant
Yeah, I definitely
packets.
want to try it. Yeah.
So it
should
makes you
just try it
smarter.
before you write.
Yeah.
Like I found writing flows much better when I
Because it
have
gives you
this.
brain shrooms.
It's brain shrooms. It's 50 milligrams of caffeine, and a normal cup of coffee is like 150.
I was gonna say that should
It's less caffeine.
that should do
Oregon
the
is putting we're putting psilocybin on the ballot for November. It's a ballot initiative to legalize
I saw
it.
that.
Nice.
Therapeutic
Is that the
mushrooms.
first state to do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is-
a
is
few
it the first
cities have
time they're doing it?
decriminalized, like Denver decriminalized it as a city,
Okay.
but Colorado still considers
So
it
that was
illegal.
just like city council stuff. No state has put it as a referendum or whatever. Or ballot
right,
or
and
whatever
this
you
would
call
be
it.
only for therapeutic uses. So you have to have a license to administer
that's
it.
how it begins, though.
And
Look at
yeah,
medical
but I mean,
That's
the,
how weed
Medical
began.
mushies.
Yeah.
my thinking though is if the culture of it starts becoming less treating it like heroin and cocaine, like eventually they'll decriminalize it for
I think it
personal
is.
use.
I mean, if you listen to anything by or have you read or listened to anything by Graham Hancock?
yeah,
I mean, he's all about that sort of proliferation, and I think he's really onto something where it's got to be done right for sure, because obviously, it's.
I mean,
not gonna be
humans
for
are
everybody, right?
crazy. Like we were talking about the world wars before this podcast started, and like when both world wars started, like most people on all sides didn't want it, but they're like, I guess we're doing this, and we did it anyways because like
Yeah.
humanity's just insane, and like when things start moving, we're just like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
Chaos.
It's
Like,
hard. It's hard to
chaos
stop.
theory.
It's hard to stop balls that start rolling down.
Right, and yeah, so like of course we need
fission
like as a
reactions.
as
Yeah,
a
they're
group,
going,
humanity comes up with some horrifying ideas that we can't seem to stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think mushrooms are definitely a good.
If you
Okay.
could choose, like two
Relief
options
valve.
happen over the course of the next 24 hours. Either everyone on Earth has a magical, like genie-induced mushroom trip. However, that will go for them. You can't control.
I don't think
that.
all at once would be good. We need someone to get water.
We need a trip.
So someone's got to go get water
That's
like,
true.
when you're tripping out and your mouth feels real dry and you're getting dizzy. Like
And shut down the nuclear reactor
'Cause
from overheating.
That's true. Wouldn't a lot of people die if they just like start tripping on mushrooms?
we would have to do it
While
in
flying
shifts.
a lot of
airplanes.
people can't.
Oh
handle
my
it.
god, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Space stations.
Johnny, take away my genie power. I
Yeah, this
can't
is-
Air,
really
trap-
trust
air
it.
traffic controllers.
Power comes straight genius.
You're going back to
Drone operators.
what's the Harry Potter like first class? What's their intro to
owls?
Yeah, owls.
How about this? We do it in shifts. You do it in shifts. So it's 1 month in July. Everyone has to take mushrooms by the end of the month. And you do it on whatever day of the month. Not July, but whatever day of the month you're born on is your birthday. So like if you're born on May 1st, then your day to trip is July 1st. If you're born on
I'm already
like June
confused,
5th,
man.
your day to trip is
And what if I
July
don't do
5th.
it?
July 5th.
I would be
you go to jail.
For how long?
Or you have to get an imprint on your head. You get a tattoo stamped on your head that
Jesus.
says refusal to participate.
That's it.
And then all the other people
Mob
who
mentality,
just recently
baby.
tripped on mushrooms will be like, "Oh, we have compassion for you, man. We totally understand why you didn't want to trip."
But-
you know, like,
Or you'll be like,
ass Scarlet Letter though.
yeah.
yeah, or you'll be like, why can't we just be friends, man? Why are you getting so angry? You're like, oh, because you didn't like take
didn't
the
meet
mushrooms.
God.
You're just jacked up on cigarettes and
Yeah.
coffee.
That's Graham Hancock's whole point, that if everybody just tripped on mushrooms, we would have such a better world, just in terms of actually looking at real problems and really more so just trying to reevaluate what we value, right? Like, which is something that we need to do ultimately, is reprioritize our exact value systems, right? Because they're not great.
They're all at askew.
Yeah.
But isn't that the point of Christmas? Like every year, it's supposed to be a period
Yeah.
where you selflessly give and
It's
think of
supposed to be,
others.
though. That's
and
the problem.
It's supposed to be about brotherhood. And
It
what do the
still is,
fucking
to an extent.
Who's say again?
I know,
in the
but
Grinch movie.
if it's not enough, it's not enough, you know?
Well, I think what the mushroom trip would do would make people on an individual level self-reflect and be like, here's all the ways I'm
Yeah,
not
sure.
living up to the things I pretend to be living up to.
Well, here's a question. Would you rather, or Jeannie question, would you rather do what you said with the mushroom tripping, where they have a month or whatever, or you can either have that option as a world reality, or do the same thing but with everybody has to smoke weed?
So I think when you're going to administer a drug to the general population, you have to know that everyone's going to react differently.
Well, that's why
I
I
was gonna
think
say you guys are kind of assuming everybody's gonna have a good trip.
no, that's why I'm saying maybe weed would be better in that case.
You know what,
right?
Tommy? Not everyone has a good life, but you know what? We all get a shot at it, right?
Hey, we can't lift you up by your own weed
You
straps.
gotta lift yourself up.
What
from
is
the
what is this?
mushroom
Your,
Well, I'm
your-
saying
your
some people-
Reagan-esque pitch here.
Some people are born crack babies. Some people, the walls might start melting if they just take a microdose. Like, life's
But some
tough.
people
It's-
take
who knows
one
what's
hit.
gonna happen.
Interesting sentence.
Some people take one hit of marijuana, even
Sure,
though that's a
yeah.
pretty lightweight thing compared to psilocybin, and they
So,
have an
yeah.
awful time and they can't handle it.
Well,
It's
most
just-
people I know who that. Oh, you're right. So that can happen, but I don't know. I mean, most people I talk to who have had bad experiences with weed, it's when you really ask them and talk to them about it, it sort of breaks down. Oh, well, somebody lit a blunt and we smoked it, and I say, oh, you in a group of 5, 6, 7 people, and they say, oh no, just me and my friend, and my reaction is, you two smoked an entire blunt the first time you got high. Of course you had
Did
a
you
weird
not
time.
use
maybe.
Google by chance?
Yeah.
Or the more likely one I hear is people that are like, oh, I can't do weed. And I'm like, why? And they'll be like,
Yeah.
well, I tried half a brownie once. I had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
worst night of my life. And
Exactly,
it's like,
yeah.
well, yeah, it's like I like even to people who smoke every day, it's like some of them can't handle eating it ever.
Oh, sure, yeah. There's a lot
And
of
it's
people I know
like-
who smoke every day who they'll take one hit or something, or a couple hits on a.
Right, but like eating it is so different, and they'll be like,
Oh,
"Well, I just don't
totally
like the idea of smoke," and then they'll be like, "Well, but I'll try that vaporizer," and those are way stronger than smoking
Yeah.
it too.
But this
And
is
it's
the great
like-
thing about regulating it, because if you go to
Yeah.
a place where you can buy weed, you can have professionals say
Having said that,
they can assess your
they
situation.
also sell you like a bar of chocolate, and they're like, cut this into 8 equal pieces,
they'll
and
tell-
that's a dose. And you're like, how do I make this into 8?
Yeah, but at least they're telling you to do that, as opposed to you read it, Google it online, and they say, cutting in half should be fine. And then you lose your shit because you're
Right.
stoned for 20 hours.
So I think mushrooms.
Hello.
This is going to be a controversial take, but I think universal mushroom usage or psilocybin would be more beneficial than universal cannabis. Like if we're making everyone take a small amount, and that's because I'm saying like a microdose. Like
Oh,
if you
that's true,
take
yeah.
I agree.
like
Forgot about
microdoses of
microdosing.
psilocybin, and there should be some kind of test or something to see like what people's thresholds are. Like a mixture of a questionnaire and a CAT scan. I don't know the technology, but I'm saying we're talking about a situation where it's universal basic mushrooms where everyone gets their
UBM.
allotted dosage,
Andrew
and you
Yang
have
for
to
UBI, John
and
is
you-
for UBM.
yeah, and you have to trip like let's say once in your life at least, maybe once every 10 years, whatever it is we decide is good for society. We come up with that, but I would say like mushrooms, because like you said, it's an illegal, unregulated thing. I think the medical benefits from mushrooms is the same as like chocolate or wine. Like people might say, "Oh yeah, wine's good for your heart," and they drink 2 bottles a day, and it's like,
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah,
probably
that's
not
true.
good. Like half a glass, you get the benefits. It's like same thing with cannabis. People are like, "Oh, I smoke for anxiety." It's like you smoke 6 blunts a day. Like of course you're
Right,
anxious
right.
when you don't have it, but somebody who like takes a little hit right before bed, or someone who has a half a glass of wine with dinner. Like if you take a capsule, like a pill that is like a perfectly dosed out microdose of psilocybin, where you don't even feel it, it just makes you more empathetic and relaxed and more perceptive of
More
your surroundings,
connected to your deeper
more
self.
connected.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
isn't that the problem right
I
now?
think
is
that
it's-
would be the move.
it's hard to do research on a lot of that because it's not there's not funding for it as far as I
Well,
know, right?
there's some. I mean, like Johns Hopkins,
right.
their MAPS program is in phase 3 trials.
Right, but it like how often does this happen compared to?
I mean, it's happening a lot there, but
Sure.
you have to be like essentially someone with diagnosed PTSD,
Right. Okay.
To get it.
Yeah.
So when they choose to get FDA approval, they have to choose the right treatment criteria so that they can get approved. If they just say we want to help people live a more fulfilling life, it's like, yeah, we're already rejecting you. If you say, oh, this is shown specifically for PTSD to do this specific thing,
But that's a problem though because it very well could lead to that where.
but it gets the wheels moving. It gets the stigma away.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a drug. I mean, we give people oxycodone.
Oh well, there's far more. I mean, there's
dangerous, awful.
there's so many prescribed drugs that are so
FDA
bad
approved.
for you. Yeah, sure.
I mean,
And
part
it's so
part of that.
expensive to get FDA approved.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why there's money in it.
Yeah.
in a lot of these pharmaceuticals. Yeah.
Well, that's why drugs
But
are so
also-
expensive because they have to get their money back from the investment of getting approved.
yeah, a lot of it is that investment. Yeah.
But like if you have like NIH linked grants, they do a lot of weird privatized grants where like half of the funding will come from the public and half from like Pfizer or some big pharma company because they're like, oh, see, like private enterprise or whatever bullshit, and like the government isn't footing all the bill for this research, but then those companies keep all the profits.
Yeah.
Like when they come up with a successful drug, even though the taxpayer like researched it and paid to educate the people and the scientists, all that stuff. But there's like natural alternative things like cannabis and
Right,
psilocybin.
exactly, yeah.
It's like those are competing with the stuff they've already invested so much money in.
Well,
Like,
imagine
there's
if cannabis could do the same anxiety treatment or something as a drug that costs all this money. Well, obviously that company would have an interest in keeping cannabis illegal
Right.
and not promoting its
Right.
healthier usage. Maybe there's even a side effect to their drug that
Right, and that's
or
the
not
problem
even
with
keep
these
it
things
illegal.
being
It's just,
illegal,
they don't
yeah.
even have to try that hard. If they just go, well, we already have these products. Why would we come up with a product that competes with our own products? Like
Right.
we're going to come up with something else.
That's what's messed up about the fact that, like you say, I didn't know that they have public funding as well, because that's interesting because that's a big debate within when they build things like sports arenas, because so many the reason why you've seen in part so many mega sports stadiums over the past 20 years now, almost every professional well, probably at least, I don't know about other sports, but probably football, definitely baseball. In the last 20 years, I think maybe almost every team except like the Red Sox and the Cubs have gotten a new stadium. And I think the majority of those have at least been half funded by the public. And the argument is that they're providing a public good because this will be a place for people to congregate and have a good time.
No,
in
it's
it.
a
Well, no,
public
no.
traffic
That would be
jam.
one
Well, it
thing.
will create jobs. It's
No,
gonna
that would be
have-
one thing, Joe, if the argument was like, this is an investment for our society, so we have
that's what
like
they
a
argue,
gathering
yeah.
place. And if you had like affordable tickets where you're like, since the stadium's paid
Right,
for by the
that's what's
taxpayer,
fucked, is
it's
that
$10 tickets.
The cheapest
like
tickets to
that's
Yankee
one
game
thing
are
because
like $40-$50, which the
Yeah,
average
and it's
person
like the
taking their family can't
Coliseum-
afford to do.
people don't know this, but in ancient Rome, as far as we know, the Colosseum, those games they held, the games were free, and you had free bread and free wine if you got a seat. So it
Yeah,
was
that
like a
sounds
thing.
pretty
That's
sick.
why people got so excited. You could be a poor peasant who had an awful life. You could be a slave, and if your master was like, if you're like, "Can I go to the game?" and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going. You can come with me," and like hold the rotten fruit I'm going to throw at the loser. Be like, sure, I get to go to the games. I might get some wine while I'm there. This is great. But that's not what it is. It's an all crazy for profit.
But they know
system.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's controversial, and it's that's actually why the what is it? The hockey team, the
Long Island
the
Ducks.
Islanders. No, the hockey team, the Islanders.
the draft dodgers.
Why they left the Nassau Coliseum because they wanted public funding to build the stadium,
Right.
and the town that they were in was like, no,
Hempstead or whatever.
yeah, they're like, no, we're
Uniondale.
not putting up millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars for this, and then they just left, and now they just have
Yeah,
not
so
as
it'd be
good
one
stadium.
thing
Yeah.
if they were saying
They build
this is for
anyways.
the public good, like it's going to be bread and circuses for the
Yeah.
masses.
That's what they
But that's
claim.
not it. They say it's going to bring so much money in because
Yeah.
you'll have teams coming to
Right.
stay, you'll have fans
Yeah,
coming
it'll
to
help the
visit, they'll
hotels,
spend
it'll
all
help
money at
bars
your
and
bars and
restaurants,
hotels.
yeah.
It's like they're not going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in a season, in a regular season. It's a total scam. And if you look at
Yeah,
all of those,
I agree.
there was one city I can't remember where it was
Especially
a few years
'cause
ago
the
where
people building it have the money. They just don't.
Yeah,
or
there was-
they have the equity to like take out
I mean, they're
loans
just-
to get the money.
there's
They're
only
just
I think there's
trying
only
to
one or
make
two teams. I think
more
there's only
money,
two
yeah.
NFL teams not owned by billionaires. And I think one of them is
Yeah.
pretty close to a billionaire, and the other is the Packers, which the city there owns.
Really? How many billionaires exist
a lot.
Hundreds, thousands.
Probably
in the world, or I mean, like
Yeah.
in the
I think
US,
China
there are
has more
definitely
than the
hundreds.
U.S., but I think we're second now.
Siri, how
We're
many
first or
billionaires-
second.
she doesn't respond to you, Joe. She's
But there was
mine.
some city.
That was-
There was some
that's
city
kind of a
where
weird thing to say.
they had a stadium they built in like the 80s or
stand by it.
90s or whatever, and they did this scam on them. Be like, yeah, the city should, if you don't front the money, because the threat is we'll leave and we'll go to a city that will build us
Right,
a
yeah,
stadium.
Yeah.
And they went to some city and they're like, our stadium's falling apart. We want to build a new one. And like, we haven't finished paying off the bond from the last stadium that you said was supposed to bring in so much money it would pay for itself.
Yeah.
And it never did that, and we're still making payments on this losing proposition. And they were like, well, if you want us to stay, you better give us a newer stadium. They're like, no, like, you didn't work. Like, your bluff's been called. And they were like, okay, we'll stay. And they just didn't build a new stadium and stayed in that one. I wish I could remember the team, but
Do you know what sport it was?
no.
So you're useless.
Useless. Interesting story, though,
A
right?
really interesting story. I'll give you that much. Yeah. It sounds like something you could have just made up. With
So we
no
never-
specific.
What if
never
we
heard
did that
from
for
Tommy.
presidential
Half
debates?
Christmas
What if
miracle.
We
what
never
if
heard from-
we have a debate where the candidates have a set, like you ask them all the questions, right? And then the next day they come back and you ask the same questions, but you dose the shit out of them on mushrooms. Because I feel like it's really hard to keep those, those like by the book wrote answers of, oh, I'm going to say this and I'm going to call people folks because folks trends better than saying people. And like, I know my kids, like that's going to all fall apart when they start tripping, right? And they're going to,
Can I
They're just gonna-
offer a substitute to your thing, but it's going to be similar. They have to trip the night before the debate.
no, they should be.
I don't think they should be
tripping
altered,
during the
'cause
debate.
That's a little bit dehumanizing. Like nobody should.
But I
have
want to
to
see what they. I don't.
vocalize
Okay,
their opinions
that's
while they're in the underworld talking.
yeah,
to
but
the-
you want to be in charge of everything. I want to see what your soul looks like, right? You know, you want to
no
be in
one's
charge of my
soul is
life.
clean though.
No,
we don't know
I
how to
like,
judge
I like
that.
That sounds.
That's
a little
fine.
Hunger
Yeah, but
Gamesy.
if
Why
they
not?
all have
Fuck
to
it.
go
It's a
through
little
it,
Hey, we're headed
then you're
towards the
picking the
Hunger
best
Games
one.
anyways. We might as well do it our
No,
way.
but Johnny, most
Yeah.
people, most
the murky
people,
waters.
their life experience is judging people not on mushrooms. So we don't really know how to read social cues. And,
no.
and
I
vibes.
think it's because it would become a normalized thing after a while. It'd be the presidential debate. Be like, I
That's
really
true,
like
yeah.
what
I'm
this.
just saying the
I really
first
like what
few
this
might
Andrew
get
Yang
weird.
says. I'm saying you'd be like, I really like what this Andrew Yang guy says when he's on CNN. Can't wait to see when he's tripping balls how he answers. Like it would be something you get used to be like,
Yeah, you get
know,
hyped.
like I see the version of yourself you want me to see. Now I want to see the peeled back version that you can't.
Can we at
like,
least have
quite
them
control us.
coming back down from mushrooms?
No.
or something?
No, they got.
You've never taken mushrooms, have you, Luke?
No.
Okay, well, so then you don't
I was gonna
understand.
say
Like,
allegedly, no.
Then
I'm
you
like, I
don't get. Then you don't get a vote in this election process.
yeah, that's the form for citizenship, like Starship Troopers rules.
You
if
have
you're
to
not in
come
the
to the
military, you
center
can't
and
be a
prove that you'll
vote.
trip
You're
by
not citizen.
tripping.
Yeah, that's right.
You earn
Take this
citizenship
pill-
by
Take
tripping.
this pill and you'll get a voter ID card.
All right, Tommy, what's your favorite?
Half Christmas story.
I was about to say Thanksgiving miracle.
That would be crazy. What if the only two ways to get citizenship was to take a large dose of psychedelics or serve in the military? Those are the only two ways to get citizenship.
many
You would end
people
up with
would
a
serve in
much
the military.
different. You would get a
Wait,
much
how long do
different
I have to do
electorate.
each?
2 years. No,
That's what I mean. Like those are very different.
Yeah,
you
like,
just
scenarios.
get a
one
drip of
night versus
LSD
a
for
year?
2 years.
Yeah, because I would join the
No,
military.
I mean,
for a day.
we would figure it out.
Yeah, no, we will right now before I sign the line.
We'll figure it out. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Maybe a year in the military, or like you have to trip once a month for a year or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'd get
That's
used
too
to
much.
it.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork for tripping.
I would buy a cabin.
Who's
going
gonna
to
run all this paperwork hopped up on shrooms all day?
What if the tripping becomes not what you think it is anymore?
What does that mean? Elaborate.
If you bureaucratize it, and it becomes no.
Did
more
you say
tripping.
bureaucratize it?
I really like that word, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
I said bureaucratize.
I think you're on your
Bureaucratize it.
fourth beer. That's
I made
what I
it
think.
up. I thought it was a pretty good word.
Yeah, I
it may be a word that's actually
Wait, that's not a
real,
word.
that's for what it is.
Bureaucratize.
No, I think he's just had 4 beers.
Bureaucratize is
Tommy,
the word.
give us your best half
Bureaucratize
Thanksgiving memory.
is
My
also now
favorite
a word.
half Thanksgiving memory was very different than my.
And then
favorite
after that, give us your half Christmas memory.
Thanksgiving.
We're even further from that one, but that would be in like May. But go
Let's
ahead.
start with my favorite half Christmas memory. My friend was very upset, and they were very angry and very angsty, and we convinced him to
You
come
sound like a
down
mom at a
to the
bagel shop.
beach. He came down to the beach, and we were all just having a great time, and he just wasn't having it, and he wanted to ruin our time at the beach. He was kicking over our sandcastles, and it was up to us to show him the true spirit of half Christmas
Oh.
and turn
me
him
guess.
away from his lifestyle of being
Let me guess.
a half Christmas Grinch.
Can I guess what you did, Tom?
What'd we do, John?
You took all that stuff and threw it in the ocean.
We did. We threw all his stuff in the ocean, and you know what happened? His heart grew 3 times the size that day.
Wait, this is a real story?
No,
yeah.
he told half of a Seinfeld story and half of the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, you're right,
That's
that is
exactly
he
what it
did.
was. It was
all makes
exactly
sense. And then
that.
we all held hands and sang Whoville around the Christmas bush in July.
At what point? At what point
good.
did the guy whose stuff you threw in the ocean airbrush you out of your own photo?
After the
What do they sing in? What do they sing in the Grinch? They all hold hands and Shia LaBeouf, gay Aurora, They sing some weird pagan shit,
No,
right?
it's like hey Lou Haru, hey Moo Haru.
All hail Cthulhu, Dark Lord, Overlord, like whatever Who's worship. They clearly weren't
That's
Christians,
the one. We were
right?
singing that one.
It was
And
clearly
in
like
turn.
Christian, I guess, yeah. But they all
I don't
have
think they
weird
were
noses.
Christian, the Who's.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Their noses pointed up.
What does
Because that would be weird if the Who's followed a human messiah. Because otherwise, that you're saying they have their.
human? I thought they just had weird noses.
Who's the Who's?
They're definitely not human. They're from Whoville.
They're
humans.
They're humans. No, they're definitely they're Who's.
We
They got
branched off from
fur.
them
Dude,
like
they
a
got,
million
like-
years ago.
Yeah, no.
They got
Chimps
like
were, 3
feathers.
million.
Wait, so what happens if I have
They have
relations?
fur and shit. They're not humans.
Oh, so that I can't. I'm
So,
not.
But the
allowed-
weird
do you
thing-
think the Whovilles
Sorry, go ahead.
have a band called the Them instead of the Who?
No, it would be the.
That's pretty bad. I just want to let that sit there.
Yeah, let's.
I just my brain kind of short circuited.
That was a rough one,
That's what I
Tom.
was going for.
Wait,
Just
so
let that-
are they kind of like hobbits then?
Yeah, but my big question is they're celebrating Christmas.
He goes, yeah.
But they're
Right.
celebrating Christmas. So do they have?
Telling me
Are they
weren't all
celebrating
shrooms?
a
Oh.
Messiah from a different species? Because
Is
that's
there a-
weird. That'd
is
be
there
like
a
if
who
there was
Jesus?
or is there a who Jesus? Because you can't. Because then that means there's another
Is
Jesus.
there a who Jesus and
competing with-
is he white like?
Does
white
that mean there's
people
Jewish who's? There's
make our
the
Jesus?
Hootyism. Is Hootyism a thing that they split off and some followed the Messiah of who Jesus? Very confusing.
Who Jesus? That's a pretty cool rapper
Jesus?
name. I feel like Who
Who's
Jesus.
Who
Right?
Jesus?
Yeah.
Wait, who Jesus?
Yo, did you hear the latest album by Who Jesus?
Oh, I love
That would be a good like Christian rapper. That's got to be
Yeah.
a thing, right? There's
Yeah,
Christian
I bet
rock.
You if you, Siri, can you ask Siri?
Did you hear baby Jesus was born? Who Jesus?
Okay.
Who?
What? Isn't this
Huh?
what Abbott and Costello did?
Who's
You
up
know they
first?
stole that bit.
Jesus.
They stole that bit? Really?
Yeah,
stole
From
it
from
Whoville.
from Whoville.
like a lot of the a lot of that was like,
exactly. Exactly.
From who?
They stole it from Jesus.
Who they steal it from? You're right.
oh my god,
They did.
what if we find out that Whoville was locked in like a really long war and they totally exterminated and ethnically cleansed all the
They're
inhabitants of
celebrating
Whoville?
on a mountain of bones.
No.
Their
Oh,
noses
yeah, but-
are Heiling Hitler.
Because
Nose Hitler.
no, I was saying because they went to war with the Whoms of Whomville and they wiped them out. So that's like nobody knows how to use whomever properly
It was
anymore.
a big
We just say
argument
whoever.
about who versus whom, and
anything-
everyone
Yeah.
corrected
Yeah.
you
And
and said
it ended
"Who
in
is
genocide.
The
This is
Grinch-
for whom?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna kill you.
For
You're-
who the bell tolls.
You know what?
We're
The
gonna
Grinch was
kill
the
you.
last
Tolls
one-
for whom?
The Grinch was the last one that remembered, and he was trying to fight still.
He was
They
the last
brainwashed
survivor.
him.
The Whooms had green fur,
gave in.
and
He's
they were
the last of the whom.
He gave in.
yeah. There was a
All
whole
ninth
ethnic
graders
cleansing
read the
element to
famous
it.
Novel for who the bell toes.
It became a Sasquatch mentality.
Oh my God, you're right.
He
He's
was the last of his
the
kind.
Whoms.
Oh no!
And they
Also,
assimilated him. It's a story.
I feel like
of
he also had the
assimilation.
only dog, right?
I'm sure there are other dogs.
Like
just
he had a pet
one.
dog. I think it was the only dog in Whoville.
I don't think it was a point of
Whose
focus in the original book.
I can't say if it was the only dog or not.
I
The
cannot
original
confirm
text.
nor deny.
I don't have a dog in this Who fight.
But I think the Who's like the dog. Everybody likes the dog, right?
Who?
Yeah, but the dog
Huh?
is friends with an asshole.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
but
but
that's what
he's-
dogs do. Dogs. I mean, how many people do you see walking on the beach down by us, and their owners are clearly assholes?
Yeah, but here's a
Dogs
question:
love
Do you think people would hate the dog that if Trump had one? Do you think there'd be a lot of people who'd be like, "That fucking dog's
I
a
don't put it
fascist"?
past the media and the left to find a way to hate on the dog.
Has Trump ever held a dog? You think?
Unless if the dog loved
Like
Trump,
this.
they would hate it. If the dog seemed to be uncomfortable with Trump, then they would love the dog and say the dog's a victim. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing.
Depends how much the dog seemed to
Well, on
be
either,
attached to him.
but on either,
He once
that's-
held a
that's good
dog
point.
below the surface of a tub of self tanning liquid
That's
because
besides-
it didn't agree with him.
we made it so far in Half Christmas before politics got brought up.
But any side.
It's the holidays. You got to ruin it with politics. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Joe. Sorry.
Of course, no. But you're right. The dog.
Full
Would,
circle.
the dog would.
We'll
get
half ruin it with
politicized.
politics.
The dog would get politicized.
Yeah, let's only half ruin it with politics and religion and shit. Yeah.
That's true. Oh yeah, we decided we can't have eggnog on half Christmas. We can only have either eggs or nog.
This Turkish
Why?
person.
I actually
that I chat
don't
with-
know what
Half
eggnog is. I assume it's eggs and milk mixed together, and that grosses me out. But I don't.
and rum
Isn't it eggs and rum?
It's soggy eggs.
and cinnamon. And
I just feel like you're gonna get a glass of curdled
other
milk
spices.
at that point.
Wait, it's raw eggs,
Alcoholic
though, right?
curdled
It's
milk.
raw eggs. I think.
Yeah.
Or do you cook it? No, you cook it on a
No,
stove.
you cook it on a stove. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cook it.
What's that drink?
You cool it after you cook
There's
it.
a movie. I can't remember it, Johnny.
White
Lots of
Russian.
sugar too.
It's
by
from the
way, Johnny.
60s where this guy goes in this movie. This guy he's a lawyer, and he goes. It's a famous movie, and he goes to a bar
That's
on his
fun.
lunch
Me too.
break, and he has a couple of glasses of whiskey, and then he just asks the bartender. I forget what he calls the drink, but the bartender just cracks or gives him 3 eggs to crack, and he just chugs them, and then he goes back to work.
That was
I mean,
a movie.
like a whiskey sour you use.
No,
like an egg
they weren't
white.
in the whiskey. He drank his whiskeys, and then he just chugged a bunch of eggs and went back to work. Is that a thing?
Hmm. Yeah.
It sounds like something that they would do in Mad Men times because the doctor told him,
That could-
Have you ever had? Have you ever had a red eye?
It will fortify your liver
I've been
like
having-
Lucky Strikes.
I've been having 10 whiskeys a day while I work, and when I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
home,
So
my stomach hurts, and they're like, Drink 3 eggs once in a while."
during lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, with lunch.
eggnog is traditionally historically served with raw eggs.
Whoa,
but
Tommy,
the
only read half
alcohol
of this
is
description.
supposed to- the alcohol is supposed to provide a bactericide and prevent any salmonella from causing food poisoning.
Ah.
Ah, so you add
Have you-
salami. I see.
Have you guys ever had a red eye? It's like
not
a
a-
beer
From Denver, yeah.
Yeah.
that you throw Tabasco. You throw Tabasco, like a beer, some tomato juice, and then you crack an egg in it.
Sounds horrible.
And then there's also a hot flip, but that's actually sounds really good. It's like rum, brown sugar, like a couple of other ingredients, and then you crack an egg in it, and you take a red hot poker from a fire, and you stir it with that,
That
and it
sounds like-
cooks the egg, and it
What are you
caramelizes
talking
the
about?
sugar.
That sounds like some
What is this called?
That sounds
It's
like
called a
some
hot flip.
some 1920s
I'm gonna
thing.
cook those eggs up for you.
I found some historical cooking YouTube channels I've been really into lately, and the things they
really? Can
used
you
to put
can
into
you send me
drinks.
some?
Yeah, the things they used to
Yeah,
put into
I wanna
drinks
check
and
that out.
dishes are crazy.
Like what?
There's actually a drink that I feel really bad for this guy. It's called the Orange Fool, and it's from the 1800s, and it's like a really sweet, like fresh orange drink
Trump?
that you'd like whip up and freeze. Yeah, and like
The Orange
his
Fool.
YouTube channel is not political at all, and he said he canceled his weekly like Q&A video he would do and had to disable comments for the first time because he's like, this isn't a political channel and everyone just attacked me for making fun of Trump. And he's like, this drink is
like, that's
hundreds
not
of
my
years
vibe,
older than Trump. Like, it's called an Orange Fool, but they just assumed that they were talking about him. They're like, oh, you fucking libtard. And they just like trolled him and spammed him. And he was like, this is really disheartening. Like, this is not why he's in a tri-corner hat in the old-timey clothes. He's like, I'm clearly not commenting on modern politics. I'm a weird guy into historical food and reenactment stuff.
And if he's halfway successful as a YouTube channel, he's like, I don't want to change my name and lose all my subscribers or some shit like that.
Right. Or get demonetized because people start putting hateful comments on your videos.
Right.
Or flagging you as like political commentary or stuff. But I actually watched the video and I was like, that looks good. I would make an Orange Fool.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, when it comes to half Christmas, the other memory that comes to my mind. Help me out here, Tommy. I got nothing.
Lovely memory of Miller's future, past,
Really?
and present.
Keep the door open then. It's a Christmas miracle.
A
Do
half
whatever you
Christmas
want, man.
miracle. John, what are your favorite foods to eat for half Christmas?
Probably a whole chicken.
A whole chicken. What about you, Luke?
Like, I could
I
really
bought
only
4
do that
pounds
in
of
the heat
chicken.
of summer.
well,
Not a couple days ago.
for half Christmas.
It's not really an answer to the question, but
yeah. So
I just made chicken curry with it.
for half Christmas.
Yeah.
you
Well,
make
it's a half
4
Christmas
pounds of
tradition to have chicken
Right.
curry.
you make 4 pounds of chicken curry at a time. How much fucking curry is that?
It's a lot of curry.
It's a lot, and so
a lot of gum.
my mom gave me a BJ's card, so I bought a lot of chicken at once.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It's basically half the price.
John, how would you
For certain
prepare
things.
your half Christmas chicken?
How would you prepare your half Christmas chicken curry, Johnny?
Well, it's not curry for me. I make a veggie curry when I make curry usually, and then I'll just serve it with the meat. I'm just telling you.
Enjoy your time in
I'm more
Whoville.
interested in your entire chicken. What do you got?
We'll be in whom?
Yeah, I like the idea of either spatchcocking it or doing the beer can style with the can of beer.
John, it's half Christmas. There's kids listening.
Sorry, no, it's where you basically like crack the back of the chicken so it lays flat on the grill.
Sounds really
and that
Dude,
way
that's
it's
the perfect usage of your cast iron. You
Yeah.
sear it a little bit and then pop it in the oven.
Sounds pretty good.
You sear it, crack a Sierra Nevada.
Ooh, pop
let
a
it
Sierra
simmer.
Nevada
Pretty
in
good.
that like chicken vagina, and you got yourself a half Christmas chicken cocked spat going.
I'm amazed you made it that far and whatever that was.
Uncle Luke's drunk at half Christmas dinner.
Oh God, Uncle
This
Luke's
reminds
drunk
me of
again.
normal Christmas. I was at a Christmas Eve gig, and then we went to this like house of the trombone player, and we were just like chilling for a while because like basically we played 2 services from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and our next service was 11 p.m.
So you got lit.
We just drank so much beer, and I remember talking to a guy. He was in a car accident and he almost died like a couple years ago, but he like flipped over and he was like losing blood, and like when the cops and the ambulance came, like it was like flashes of memory kind of thing. And he was telling me this story. It was really intense, and I'm like on my like 5th, 6th Bud Light, and I'm just like,
Yeah. You're like, I gotta go play.
yeah, I'm like, I gotta go back to the church, but first I'm gonna pee outside.
Yeah, gonna piss like a racehorse.
So that's
Is that the-
Christmas.
so yeah, that's it. That's
I just wanted to
that's
give a
all you
little
had
bit
to
of the
say.
Christmas
Okay.
spirit on half Christmas.
yeah.
Great.
Well, what should we do? Because I feel as if, I mean, the joke is always with Thanksgiving and Christmas that you don't want to fight with your family. So I think we should fight with our families on it.
shut
Joe.
up. Sorry.
That was good. We were on the same page.
You
there.
whomie fucks you.
Yeah, but our family fun fights, like in general.
Do you know what's funny about that is that people
What?
who don't
What is
What's so funny? Go ahead. Why don't you tell me what's so funny?
is people who
Don't know us.
don't know us who then observe, because I lose track of that, because when we do it we're just
Yeah.
in the zone.
If
But
you don't know what it is, you
strangers,
skipping beats,
newcomers,
yeah.
Do you mean like fighting in like
Newcomers?
the playful way at like a party?
yeah, just kind of one-upping each other in terms of yelling over each other.
In like any social thing?
Yeah, but,
Okay,
but
yeah.
people legitimately mistake it for fighting.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no malice to it. It's just
No.
There's a
part
way
of-
to play fight
part of
that
the
some
game.
people don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it comes in part from, I mean, at least with us
Oh, it's
It's
a
a-
dynamic we've developed over years.
Well, yeah, it's a little different when you have siblings, right? Because you've grown
the
up
sibling level
competing
of it
that
is,
way. Yeah.
the threshold is way higher.
Well, yeah, because you've grown up having to figure out how do I mind game, try to outword, try to out phrase, try to out whatever, and that goes between siblings, it goes between parents, and
The other thing with siblings,
it's all negotiations.
with siblings,
Right.
there's the energy of you can sort of go like, I'm too tired to deal with you or anyone. Like, I'm not even going to show you the social cues of like recognizing you're talking. I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
Like sometimes whenever my brother has stayed over my place or I stay over his place, and like we've gotten to the end of the night where we're just like tired of hanging out and partying, and I'm like, oh, should I do this before, like what's the deal with the door? And he just goes, ugh. It's
Yeah.
Whereas like if I were like a business associate of his guest, he would be like, oh, I'll lock,
yeah.
It's not, you just get rid of the levels of
But what's funny is
decor
when I hang out
the
with your brother
formality of
too,
it.
formality. Yeah.
when we've done podcast episodes with your brother, we'll start getting into yelling situations on the podcast. But I think it's because we both come from similar sibling situations
Yes.
where
Yes.
we know how to play that game, and it's
So
all
we
fine.
all grew up together, and we would have those, like, we'd be at parties with our friends, because there's some of us who just hang like that. We're all yelling at each other, but like it's all in good fun. Even if we're arguing, it's not like aggressive fuck
Yeah,
you
that's
arguing.
true. Yeah.
And then every now and then, there's like, most of the time, the outsiders are like, they don't know the group dynamic, and they're just like, this is a hostile room right now.
Right, yeah,
and you can see
exactly.
them get
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
right.
But every now and then, you'll see them get like a shitty grin, like, oh, these people are fucking crazy too. All right. Like when Gat first hung out with us,
Right,
I think he was
yeah.
like, oh, I get it. They're all just yelling because why not? It's funny.
It's play.
Right.
Everyone's just play fighting
This
here.
is what wolves do when they're not trying to kill each other, but they're trying to get their fighting skills to be sharper. They
I also
play.
have a theory that single children are fucking weird people.
Well, yeah, they have less playtime.
I don't
because
know
they
if
have no
it's
siblings.
I don't know if it's a theory.
Look
so
at
much
the
as just-
apartment.
A fact.
Look at
Yeah,
the
it's just an
bedroom of it.
observation.
Look at the bedroom of someone who grew up as a single child versus siblings, and I feel like generally it's weirder.
I think it's a little bit cruel to have a single child because, I mean, if you can help it, because it's really the best chance someone has to play with other people.
I feel as
You
if
didn't let me finish, though,
must
Luke.
Miss out on a lot. Yeah.
You do, but I think single children are weirder than children with siblings, but I think twins are even weirder than single children. I think the only reason you're normal, Luke, is because
Well,
you're a twin, but
about
you
that.
also have
Wait,
non-twin
you think
siblings.
I'm normal? This is the best half Christmas present you could have given me tonight.
No, I didn't say normal. I said the reason why you are as normal as you are.
Oh, that's true.
You
yeah.
didn't say that, but now you.
well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So you gave me a bike, and now you've given me half of a bike.
Actually, it's a picture of a
Happy
bike.
Christmas miracle. No, it is
No,
true.
it's
It is
just a
amazing.
picture of a
Yeah.
No, it's not even a sweater. It's just shitty socks.
It's not a sweater. It's a ball of yarn. Enjoy. Make a sweater if you want.
That's,
make your own
that's
sweater
actually
with it.
worse than half a sweater. I'd rather have
Right?
half a sweater and just wear
Ball
it.
of yarn is the biggest.
Yeah, I'd rather
fuck
have
you
a half
gift you could
sweater.
possibly
And,
give.
I'd rather
What
get
am
a
I,
half
fucking
sweater
cat?
and
Yeah.
wear it as a scarf and just call
I'm going to
it a
do that
day.
for Christmas this year. I'm only going to give people
Oh my
the
God.
start of a hobby that they don't have. Like
they-
a
and they
ball of
definitely
yarn and
don't
knitting
want.
needles.
It's got to be
Yeah.
a shitty hobby. Yeah.
Yarn needle, get
it's
to
got-
crocheting.
Yeah, it's got to be crocheting. It can't be like just sewing or something. It's got to be
Like
something
Mike,
overly
like our
complicated.
friend Mike lives in New York City, so I'm going to get him hiking shoes. Like I'm going to get people like things just to be shitty like that, you know?
Get somebody who like Gat a surfboard because
Yeah, he lives in Denver. I might get him a boogie board.
get him a boogie board.
Even more useless. At least there's indoor surfing like places, you know,
And
with
just be
wave
an
machines. There's
asshole
no
about it.
indoor boogie
Just be an
boarding.
asshole about it. Be like, oh, take it out on the river, you know.
Yeah. Oh well, you know, it's
No
what you
water.
can get into the hobby if you want.
Get somebody skis who lives in Florida. Like,
It's like when I got our dad a kayak and he
Snow
used
boots.
it like once. Did he ever use it once?
No,
He didn't even go out on it once, right?
you should
No.
come over here. Use my kayak. It's right down in the harbor.
Is it yours or do you just find one
No, I
that you
bought
take out?
no, Joe has a.
Oh,
kayak.
did you?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
chained down in the harbor.
You go yakking, bro?
I yak hard.
I almost wanted to yak this summer by.
Oh, I love it.
Like we were gonna buy one just to like, and then I was like, nah, it's the whole thing.
It's not really. You just go and move your arms. Really.
You should come kayak here because it's a river. It's a lot less.
Oh, I love
Willamette?
dude. I love river kayaking. It's so
it's
much
way better than the ocean.
fun.
You're not fighting as much.
The problem is you got to get somewhere, and then
No,
you
there's
gotta-
places out here that you park your car, they load up your kayak, and they drive you upriver a few hours.
Yeah, I've
like
done that-
not
I've
a few
done that
hours,
before.
a few hours where the kayaking, and then you just kayak back to your car.
Yeah, I did that.
So you don't
in,
have to kayak down the river and then
I did that
hike
in
back to your
Colorado a
vehicle.
couple times. It was awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
How much do they charge for
Yeah.
that? And how do you
I
know
forget.
if you've missed your car? or not?
About 3.5 spatchcock
When you're in the
chickens.
ocean, 3.5 what?
Yeah, like how do you know if you
Spatchcock
passed your
chickens.
car? Like,
Yeah.
do you have to?
There's a big sign. They usually hang a sign over the river. There's a dock.
Yeah.
Oh, a sign. That's good.
Yeah, it's
Signs are
usually
great.
pretty legit.
I love signs. There's signs all in the
Luke's
air
just
about
like-
half New Year's Eve.
Luke, I love how you're like, this business model's absurd. How would you know? Oh, yeah, a sign. That's a great idea.
Well, I didn't know you could hang a sign over a whole river.
Signs, they've been
can
working
just
forever,
do
man. I don't know if you need to. You can just put it on the bank if it's big enough.
All right, Joe. If you had a
I also just
message,
made it up. I don't
a
know if
half
there's
Christmas
signs.
message for everyone out there suffering through coronavirus in whatever way they are, give us your half Christmas message.
You know, I would say in these times,
Here we go. Buckle up.
I would say something really deep like, you know, man, life, it just, once it starts coming at you, it just keeps coming, man.
you know what's funny is this voice I do where I'm like, well, you know,
That's what I would say.
the thing that we have to get, you know, really focused about. That voice is exactly on my education podcast what I
Uh-huh.
sound like the whole time.
That's funny.
It's the serious voice.
No, but seriously, give us your advice, Joe. Go ahead. Wait, Joe, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
I would say if you're going to really say what half Christmas is all about, you should really say, I can only do half a sentence. That's it.
Oh, that was beautiful. I thought you were
gotcha.
going to say the silence is where the beauty lies.
That would be
he
for full
just-
Christmas.
No. Yeah, he just...
No, I mean you said it without saying it. It's
acting without
it's
acting.
acting without acting.
What's your Christmas message, Luke? Your half Christmas message.
I would say don't forget about what's important.
Okay. Tommy?
Just hang out, have a good time.
All right, Joey Diaz, take it easy.
Here's to those who wish us
half, man.
well,
That's half.
and all the rest can go to Whomville.
That's
Whomville.
it.
there it
yeah.
is.
Would you rather live in Whomville or
Whomville.
Whoville? I would choose Whomville.
Well,
I
Whomville
wanna
was
go to Whomville.
destroyed, and they salted the earth Carthage style, so I don't think I want to live there.
Well, there are a bunch of Green Grinch people, so that could be kind of cool. Right?
Yeah, how about we just do like 20 more minutes of Drunk Tank?
What are
We're
we
at
Well,
an hour.
Yeah,
Oh, we are?
let's.
Okay.
I want to end this
I got a
episode.
Grinch theory. Let's end this, and you'll hear this Grinch theory in the
Save it
drunk tank.
for the drunk tank,
That
but
sounds good.
I want to end this episode real quick on what
If you hang up on
'Cause-
us, I'll kill you.
I'm not here.
All right.
2020 is a crazy year, right? 2020 is a crazy year, and
knocked over a speaker?
and it's
God, I
He's
just
going. He's going for the hang
saw
up.
No, what,
hang up with his hoof feet.
I saw
Oh,
a
no.
hobbit foot.
2020 is crazy, right? If in New Year's I asked you what your July was going to look like, you would have gotten it wrong. Whoever you are listening to
It's
this,
so
you
true,
just
yeah.
would have.
Or
Yeah.
whomever you are.
So what do you guys? What's your biggest prediction for? What do you think is going to be different about Christmas this year
Oh Christ!
than you would have imagined? Because we're still pretty far out, but like, what big thing that you're like? Oh,
I've
you know
got
what? It's going to
one.
be
I'm
this
gonna
that
make,
no one.
way less money to zero money being a trumpet
less-
player.
That's
less
already
trumpeting
the case.
gigs.
That's going to be different from last Christmas,
Oh,
where
I
I
see.
made like 4 times the amount
From
in
doing
December.
gigs.
than I
That's
made
so.
in
So
any other
basically, you're a little person. If you were a little person, it's your St. Patrick's Day, right? Because you play like Baroque trumpet. So
Well,
it's like I can get a lot of
it's
work
that
as a
and
little
just
person.
Other random
And they got
modern
screwed
trumpet
last
gigs
St.
too.
But I'm just saying, like around St. Patrick's Day, a little person can be like, I have a real marketable thing here. Then this is the one time of year I can cash in on it. It's like
Yeah.
people aren't really looking for
Yeah.
Baroque trumpet players outside of like big church things.
I mean, they are, but like specifically for there's no month besides December and the Easter 2-week ish period where you can guarantee yourself to be employed as a trumpet player. But those
So Luke's
two
converting to
holidays,
Coptic
everyone hires
Christianity.
someone.
That's what I got out of this. Great. Okay.
I've heard a lot of Christian stuff while I've been playing trumpet, and I have to say I half believe it on Half Christmas.
Fair enough. I can't
Fair enough.
argue. I can't even half argue with that.
Beautifully-
That's how good that is.
I can, but only half argue.
Fair enough.
I can't really fully commit.
Yeah.
You can't fully commit to the half argue, so
Yeah.
you can quarter argue. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
just to be safe.
Oh, you get real meta with the half Christmas. Okay, I love it.
What about you guys?
All right.
I want to hear your Christmas
shit,
predictions.
right, we were
What do you
supposed to
think is
answer
going to be
the
the big
question.
difference this
Shit.
year? And when we do our Christmas episode, we'll
Tommy's
revisit
like, there
this
was
and
a
see
I
how
only answered half.
wrong we
Yeah.
got it.
I only heard you half as much as half of you deserve, and
Like,
I only
I
like
already
half
said-
of you half as much as you half know me.
That's it.
Is that Bill?
Like,
Williams?
Not even close. But
Not
I
even
appreciate
close.
whatever that was.
He weirdly got it like half right, but
That's the idea.
I think this Christmas. Here's my prediction. My prediction is that we will have a president who most people don't want.
that's a good call. It's a safe bet.
There's no way you're going to be wrong unless something epic happens.
And that's why I'm just like, let's enjoy half Christmas now.
Yeah.
While
My
times are
big
still good.
prediction. My big prediction is Amazon is going to send out wrapped gifts. They're going to have like a Christmas option when you order.
They already do
So
that.
Yeah, they do.
They already do that.
You send it as a gift.
You can
No,
get
no,
it.
it
feel
comes
like
with a
an
gift
idiot.
receipt in an
No, no,
Amazon
you can
box.
get it wrapped.
I'm saying they're gonna have an option where packages come from Santa and they get delivered at the same time, like a
Oh.
Christmas Day
Oh, that would
delivery.
be dark.
Like Amazon's going to be like,
shit,
why
you're
can't
right,
we
John.
deliver to every home
That's
on
very
one day?
corporate Mickey Mouse. Oh, we'll be Santa
Mhm.
for you.
I do have one question.
We'll make it extra magical.
I have one question for that.
Get back in line, you fucking hoops.
Can Jeff Bezos ensure he also delivers mushrooms in these packages?
Is Jeff Bezos the new mushroom?
He's the next.
I think he's
gonna
the- I
drive
think he's
around
the
in
new
his
Santa.
Amazon sleigh in the sky going. Oh.
I think if he's the new Santa,
so
we need.
rich.
If he is the new Santa, we need him to trip balls so that he remembers like
I'm
his
trying to-
humanity and everything.
That's what I'm trying to half get at, John.
So
Yeah.
he's not a Grinch. Yeah.
He should
He's
He
maybe,
kind
needs,
of a
he needs
Grinch.
to take
maybe
some mushrooms.
remember that if he gets richer and everyone else gets poorer, the whole system that makes him rich will collapse under his
I don't-
half Christmas fucking legs.
Half-ass fucking operation.
All
he's got
right,
going
we
on
should
there.
go to
away.
Merry half Christmas.
Listen
All right,
to
to all a half night.
listen to Drunk Tank for Tommy's Grinch theory. Apparently,
That's right.
we'll be there.
All right.
Like, share,
But
and
we have-
imbibe.
Thanks for listening.
That's good, man.
Just sounds inappropriate.
Listen to the Miller Lite bells.
Oh, the walls are melting.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I just want full New York. Get
Merry-
the hell out of here.
You're a loser if you listen to Thunk Tank.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Thunk Tank podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help us out, please consider leaving a rating or a review wherever you listen to podcasts, and share it with people you think might like it. And if you really want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/ThunkTankPodcast. We have links to this in the episode description and other places. And for as little as $1 an episode, you can help us keep the lights on. And you also get access to a very special Drunk Tank feed of episodes. So every few episodes, we'll have a few more beers and record an extra 20 to 30 minutes of extra thunky, silly whateverness. So there's a separate RSS link you can get from there, and if you put that into a podcast player, you'll get your own separate feed of only the Drunk Tanks. I think we have about 6 or 7 of them out already, and more to come. Thanks for listening, and stay thunky.